In the peaceful valley of Sundar Gram, nestled between lush green hills and winding rivers, there was a quiet little village. Life here moved slowly, people were kind, and nature whispered gentle lessons to those who paid attention. In that village lived a teenage girl named Mira. Mira wasn't famous or particularly striking in appearance, but she had a kind heart. She was helpful, hardworking, and always polite. She studied diligently, respected her elders, and never spoke unkindly to anyone. But despite her gentle spirit, Mira was unhappy. The reason? She kept comparing herself to others. Whenever Mira saw her classmate Anna standing on stage receiving awards, for math, for art, for public speaking, she felt invisible. Anna seemed to shine so easily, while Mira faded into the background. When she walked past her neighbor's house and saw their son riding an expensive, shiny bicycle or wearing brand new clothes, Mira would sigh. "We're too poor," she thought. "I'll never be like them." Even during school talent shows, when someone sang more beautifully or danced more gracefully, Mira's heart would sink. A quiet sadness began to grow inside her, fed by every little comparison. At first, it was just passing thoughts, but slowly, those thoughts became beliefs. She started losing interest in school, in her chores, even in the small joys of everyday life. Her inner voice kept whispering, "I'm not good enough. I'll never be enough." One day, a rumor spread through the village that a wise old woman named Chantima had come to visit. People said she had helped many find peace in their lives. Her words were said to be full of insight and healing. Villagers who spoke with her returned with lighter hearts. Mira, holding on to a faint glimmer of hope, decided to meet her. They met in a small garden behind the village chief's house, where Chantima was sipping tea under a blooming tree. Mira, nervous and hesitant, poured out her heart, her feelings of inadequacy, her sadness, and the constant comparisons that plagued her. The old woman listened in silence, her eyes kind, her presence calm. When Mira finished, Chantima did not give advice right away. Instead, she looked at the girl and said, "Come to the edge of the forest at sunrise tomorrow. You will find your answer there." Though puzzled, Mira agreed. The next morning, as the first golden rays of sun touched the treetops, Mira arrived at the meeting place. Chantima was already there, waiting with a wooden staff in hand. "Look around you," she said. "Tell me what you see." Mira looked at the forest around her. Trees of every shape and size filled the area. Tall coconut trees, short bushes, thick trunks, delicate leaves, fruit-bearing trees, and those that only offered shade. "I see many kinds of trees, some tall, some short, some with fruits, some with just leaves," Mira answered. Chantima smiled and asked, "What if the mango tree was sad because it wasn't as tall as the coconut tree? Or the coconut tree felt unworthy because it didn't bear sweet fruit like the mango?" Mira laughed softly. "That would be silly." "Exactly," said the wise woman. "Each tree has its own purpose. The mango gives sweetness. The coconut offers height and shade. None needs to be like the other to be valuable." Mira fell silent. Her mind began to stir with new thoughts. Chantima then led her to a small pond nearby. Fish swam peacefully beneath the clear water, darting between rocks and reeds. Above, a bird glided gracefully and landed on a branch nearby. Pointing at the pond, Chantima said, "What if the fish wanted to fly like the bird? It would never feel happy or fulfilled." Mira nodded slowly. "Fish are meant to swim. Birds are meant to fly. Then why do you want to be like others?" Chantima asked gently, "You have your own strengths, your own path, your own purpose." In that quiet morning, something shifted deep within Mira. The burdens she had carried, the feelings of not being good enough, the weight of comparison, began to fall away, like mist dissolving in the sunlight. From that day on, Mira changed. She stopped chasing after what others had or could do. Instead, she focused on what she could do, what brought her joy, what made her feel alive. She realized she had a gift for storytelling. Children would gather around just to hear her talk. Her words carried warmth and imagination. She began writing, speaking, and slowly growing in confidence. Years passed. Mira became a respected teacher in her village, not just for her knowledge, but for the way she made every child feel seen and valued. She was a mentor, a guide, and a light to many young hearts who, like her younger self, once felt unsure of their place in the world. Whenever someone asked her the secret to her joy and confidence, she would simply smile and say, "Don't compare yourself. A fish can never fly, but it can rule the waters. The lesson of the story. We are all like the trees in the forest, the fish in the pond, the birds in the sky. Each of us is different, and that's the beauty of it. When we compare ourselves to others, we forget the gifts we already have. We chase after someone else's path and feel lost. But when we embrace who we are and grow in our own way, we discover true happiness. A mango tree doesn't need to reach the height of a coconut tree to be valuable. A fish doesn't need wings to matter. It was born to swim, and it thrives in its world. In the same way, you don't need to be like anyone else. You were created with your own talents, your own dreams, and your own light. The secret to joy and peace is not in becoming someone else. It is in becoming fully, wonderfully yourself.